In this video I'll talk about my master, my spiritual master, Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, a Tibetan master, whom I never saw in my physical life, in physical... Hello! But I have an experience with him I want to talk about and share with you. The first time I saw Dilgo Khyentse I think I was searching, like seeing some photos on Facebook about Tumo practice, Tibetan practice of Tumo. And there I saw this man, this Lama, definitely I could... Come on, cock! It's my time to talk. My friends cannot hear me when you are making your noise. he ran away, you see. Yeah, so the Lama the Hermit talking with cocks and roosters. So that's better. Go further. The Lama is talking with roosters. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, so I saw this man. I saw Dilgo Khyentse, and straight away I could see this is a Lama. Okay, he had Lama clothes, Tibetan typical, like these red clothes. But the way, seeing his eyes, seeing his face, seeing his body, just right away told me this is an enlightened being. This is an enlightened master. For me, I can just look into a person, I can feel that person's, let's say, spiritual authority, whatever, spiritual growth, in the eyes, in the way one in the way one, the posture, in the way one moves his body, in different things like voice and such. You can feel it. You can feel this depth of one's being, maturity of one's being. So seeing Dilgo Khyentse, I could straight away see this is a legit one. This is a heavyweight. But this is where I think I had some other things to do, and I just left it. Okay, this is a beautiful master. But then after a few days, I found myself remembering him again and again, remembering that photo or those eyes of his, and I thought, man, that master is really special. I want to go and check him out. I didn't know what his name was, nothing. I just knew I saw his photo, his eyes. So basically started, I searching for the same photo, which finally I found, and there it was written, Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. So okay, I went out to find more about Dilgo Khyentse, and I don't remember, was it the first thing I did was go and read about him on Wikipedia, or was it I downloaded a book of him? But come on, you're coming back here? Rooster is coming back. So they're like making these sounds, you know. I got a book of Dilgo Khyentse on my phone, and the first sentence of that book was very impactful to me. That sentence read something like this, I'm paraphrasing. It was like, let us all seek enlightenment so that we can benefit this world for other beings. It was the very first sentence, and that very first sentence reveals what is the innermost everything in my being, in my heart, in my life. This is as intimate as I can go about myself. That's the most intimate part of me, is that what it is the most exciting, the most meaningful, worthwhile, everything thing for me is this, is grow myself as a yogi, as a meditator, you can say as a shaman, so that I could give that light of God to every living and even non-living beings. That is, people have sometimes asked me what motivates me to live the way I do, to do what I do. This is what it is. When I read that sentence, I just burst into tears. I just burst out sobbing like a baby, burst into tears, sobbing and shaking, almost like convulsing. That first sentence, it was like receiving a spiritual transmission from this Dilgo Khyentse. I felt the energy of this man, of this Lama, of this being. And with the first sentence, he just like shot an arrow straight to the very target of my heart, the very center. It affected me so much, as I'm saying, I was sobbing, all wet in tears, my t-shirt becoming wet in tears, and that was a spiritual experience for me of deep devotion. That straight away I felt to this, and straight away I could feel this energy of Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. I could feel his energy, like a signature on the sentence, the first sentence, right? And I just felt this energy, and I felt this energy already in me, as if I had received a transmission, as if I had received a blessing. You can even imagine how I felt. It was like, this is the first sentence of the book. Let's see what the whole book is gonna make me, impact, what impact it's gonna have on me. I think the book that was called Enlightened Courage, I think something like that. So that book I read, it was a book about Tonglen and much about compassion, about giving the Tonglen practice is basically take from other people their suffering and give to them your love and your light and the best. Such as like meditation technique that I started to practice was when I inhale, I visualize and I imagine that I draw upon me the sufferings and pain and illnesses and whatnot of people or of the nature or polluted oceans or humanity as such, or the whole existence. I would draw into myself this pain, this suffering, the bad things, and when I would exhale the best I have, my love, my blessing, and the best I have, I would exhale my best. So this is the practice that basically this book spoke about, Dilgo Khyentse wrote about, and it was impactful to me. I started doing this practice. And I felt very strong connection and a blessing of Dilgo Khyentse. I read his other book also, his autobiography, his Brilliant Moon, I guess it's called, which was also definitely for me an impactful and beautiful book. Interesting experience I had it was 1 year ago. It was, the world was already crazy with COVID, coronavirus, and and I also could feel that many things are happening in the world and there's much suffering, and I felt that I have to do something, and especially after reading this book, I said, oh, I know what I'm gonna do now. So I drank ayahuasca. I drank more of it than I usually drink. And the intention of it was, before I drink ayahuasca, before I do, I ask, like what I want with this experience, and I asked ayahuasca, I said ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a shamanic plant, Amazonian shamanic plant, visionary plant. You see things, you have hallucinations. People would say some people may say it's a drug. It gives a very strong, powerful experience, which can be very, very difficult and very uncomfortable. Usually is. What I asked before drinking, what I asked was ayahuasca. In this experience, I'm asking you that you help me take upon myself sufferings of the world, sufferings of the humanity upon me, as much as I can bear, not more than that, as much as I can bear, and help me vomit it all. In ayahuasca, you vomit. And this way you kind of purge. You purge yourself, you clean your karma, you clean your sins, right? You redeem yourself kind of through that experience. So I said I want to help kind of redeem or help, take that negativity of the world. With your help, ayahuasca, I want to like vomit it out. I wanted that through me this purification goes, and I'm ready for that. But I said, ayahuasca, please give me this experience as intense as I can bear, but please without killing me. And I repeated this several times, without killing me, because I know that ayahuasca is is ayahuasca. And what you ask you may receive as intense, taking off the suffering of humanity. That experience was very intense. I need experience the world, I need experience the suffering of the world, and I need was vomiting it. And it was so intense that I was vomiting so much that I really felt like I'm gonna die. And to the point where I thought I broke or fractured my rib, like here, because I just felt it is fractured. I was vomiting so violently that I fractured my rib, and I still had to vomit more. It was coming. Imagine that. Well, as later it turned out, I hadn't fractured, but I had kind of injured in between the rib and the sternum, this meeting point, the ligament, I suppose. This was a bit injured. I was vomiting so intensely, so you can imagine how intensely I was vomiting for the world while I was chanting mantras, mainly Om Mani Padme Hum. And the profound experience was, at one point when I'm about again to vomit, I stop chanting, but then I hear somebody continues chanting, and I feel it is Dilgo Khyentse, the Tibetan master, by my side, let's say like 1 meter to my right, and he's looking the same direction as me, kind of like chanting for the world, to heal the world, to help the world, and I can hear Dilgo Khyentse chanting. And that experience, to hear that, to feel that energy was so overwhelming and so beautiful. It was so it was beyond anything I can put in words. It felt like it is endless. It is going and going and going endlessly. It has no beginning and no end. That mantra has no beginning, no end. It is beyond this world. It's a dimension by itself. This mantra had become a dimension in itself. And it just goes on. And I hear Dilgo Khyentse chanting it with that power, with that, man. It was and I also felt such a gift that Dilgo Khyentse accompanied me in my chanting to the world. You want me to chant to you, dog? Well, not now. So the fact that I felt that Dilgo Khyentse was kind of with me, accompanying me in my crazy, breaking my ribs, vomiting so violently and such. I felt my such union with him, such as we are on the same side doing the same thing. And that experience was so, for me, was so deep, so profound and so beautiful, so transformative. That it had also transformed me. Since then I have this connection with this master. I just feel him. I just feel him. And I can do it as one of my meditations. I can just concentrate on him. I can do also like mantra, Tibetan mantra, usually Vajrasattva mantra, and I concentrate on him on top of my head or in my heart, and I can feel him, and I can feel it definitely, like his energy is seeping and transforming into me every time I do this practice. It's a powerful practice to me, and very I feel very lucky to have it, and I feel very privileged, very blessed to have had these experiences with Dilgo Khyentse, to have his being in me, especially as I'm saying, when I like to feel the soul or the being, how it is just such a gift. Is so transformative and makes me understand many more things about master and student, master and disciple relationship. Because what I feel is that, okay, Dilgo Khyentse had a lot of disciples when he was still alive. He died. The body died in 1990 something, I think. So I wasn't a hermit then. I was a boy, far away from Tibet, not even knowing about Tibet probably. So I'm sure, of course, Dilgo Khyentse is one of the most notable, known, and respected masters, lamas, enlightened beings of the 20th century. He had many disciples, and he transformed life of many of those, right? But what I feel in my being is that even without getting to know him physically, I feel such a strong presence and impact of him on me that I'm sure I'm more impacted than some of his or many of his disciples, actual people who had seen him. That is a, first of all, very beautiful experience, and also beautiful and interesting realization about, as I'm saying, just how mysterious this relationship between master and a student can be, and what a blessing it can be indeed. So I wanted to share this with you,